What's up everyone, Darcblade here with our video review of Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom. The game was developed by Omega Force and published by Koei Temco. Released originally in Japan on February the 18th, 2016, Attack on Titan has now seen a Western release, with the EU getting a release date of the 26th of August 2016 and North America the 30th of August 2016. The game was released for PC and all consoles, bar the Xbox 360. The main reason for the delay between release dates in different parts of the world were due to development being Japanese originally, and after the release in the East it needed to be translated in English and other languages before getting a Western release. Omega Force and Koei Temco are famous or infamous for their Dynasty Warriors series. Love it or hate it, they acquired the license to produce Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom, which, if you do not already know, is a famous manga and anime series. The series is loved by fans, and can Omega Force and Koei Temco bring to life a game that fans of the series have been waiting for? Let's find out. Now, before going into the main plot of the game, I urge anyone who is at all interested in the game to first take the time and watch Attack on Titan or read the manga. It is a wonderfully dark and action-packed series with both human drama and horror elements. If you have experienced the series or the manga, then you will have a greater attachment to the characters within the story. The series has been going for a few years now, and with the anime and manga, there is more time for character development. That all being said, if you are still going into this blind, the game does an okay job of covering all the major events of the first series of the anime and manga. Now, without going into too many major spoilers, the premise of Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom is that humanity is on the verge of extinction. Thanks to these creatures called Titans, humanity is now walled into one last huge, enormous city comprised of many different war sections. These act as a last defense against the Titans. That is, until out of nowhere, the walls have been breached by the arrival of a colossal Titan that has never been seen before. With a gap in the walls, humanity now have to take up arms and use all they have to push back the Titans. Titans themselves resemble humans, although at the same time they're completely unhuman. They are completely naked and have no sexual organs. They have little intelligence, and the reason for why they wish to consume and eat solely humans is unknown. They are also tough beyond belief. Blow off a limb and it will regenerate. They are seemingly invincible. There are also Titans who are slightly more intelligent, which are referred to as abnormals. The only weak point a Titan has is on the nape, on the back of their neck. Pierce this and they will fall. Humanity have thus developed weapons to aid in this. Thanks to the development of gravity-defying omnidirectional mobility gear, sometimes referred to as 3D maneuvering gear, humanity can now navigate the environments and get into positions that allow them to attack the Titan's weak points. In layman's terms, these are devices that are attached to your waist that fire out roped darts that attach themselves to walls, trees, anything that can get you up high. They then reel in thanks to gas-powered boosters on the back of the equipment that allows you to boost at incredible speeds. Couple this with bladed weapons, and this is one of the ways the humans can fight back against the Titans. The world of Attack on Titan as well is set in an era where gunpowder weaponry is available, but they're not too far technically advanced. During the story mode, you will play as various characters, reliving the events that happened throughout Season 1, along with some other bonus events. It is a faithful retelling, and while it cannot cram in as much backstory or side stories as the other forms of Attack on Titan media, it still delivers an entertaining experience that gives you the basics of what the story is about. The gameplay of Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom is a joy to behold. If you've ever wanted to play a game that recreates the feeling of using omnidirectional mobility gear and fighting Titans, then this title comes pretty close to recreating it. While it is not perfect, as there are a few physics hiccups here and there, mainly with the Titans crashing into buildings, it is by far the best game that simulates Attack on Titan at the moment. The game can be divided into two sections. You have the combat and management. During combat, whether it be in the story, which is called attack mode, or free play, which is called expedition mode, you control one of 10 characters from the main story. You will then proceed to battle with Titans around various maps, using your omnidirectional mobility gear to fly around the landscape, as well as use it and your blades to take down Titans. When fighting, you'll be able to lock onto various limbs of the Titan as well as their nape. Going for different limbs can give you different advantages and is required for some of the more challenging Titan types. Most missions have an overall objective. These are normally marked with red markers. These will also normally end with some sort of boss battle. These boss Titans can be tough and require different tactics to bring down. During your main missions, you will also come across side missions. These green markers are optional, but can aid you in various ways. For example, an ally may be needing aid, and by helping him or her, they will join your squad afterwards. Squads can also help a lot in combat, and provide support for you and the overall battle. Some characters like Armin really benefit from having a good squad at his side, as he can give out additional orders as part of one of his perks. Your missions will spread across cities, forests and countryside maps. While the cities and forest maps allow you to really take advantage of the omnidirectional mobility gear, countryside maps don't have the luxury of tall objects to latch onto. Instead, you will have to make use of your horse to travel. This doesn't feel as entertaining as when you're using your ODM gear, but it serves a purpose. The horse also moves a little oddly with its super fast movement and invincible jumping skills. During combat, you will have various resource meters, including one for your fuel, which is the amount of times you can boost while using your omnidirectional mobility gear. You will have your blades, which need to be replaced as you use them on Titans because they become blunted. There are also decisive battle signals, which charge as you complete side missions during combat or taking out Titans. Once you activate this, your character's abilities become enhanced and allies are called to your side to help in the fight. Well, at first the thought of having to micromanage fuel and such was a bit of a put-off, but it actually ties in to how the gear works within the world of Attack on Titan and gives an element of immersion. The other side of Attack on Titan's gameplay is management. In between battles, you will be able to wander the various camps you visit, interacting with allies, and use this time to both manage, craft, modify and adjust your weapons and gear. During combat with Titans, you will be able to destroy limbs, some of which contain materials which are used in weapon upgrading and crafting. These are marked by limbs having a yellow gem marker on them. There is also a leveling up system. Each character has their own set of skills and perks that become unlocked as you play them more and more. This gives a nice little progression system to the game. The levels, gears and currency you earn can be carried over between the various game modes too. This includes multiplayer. The gameplay as a whole is fast-paced and action-packed. It can get very intense, especially when playing on the harder difficulties. It is a real joy to swing through the buildings and forests with the omnidirectional mobility gear. There is a fear though that the gameplay can become repetitive, but if you're a fan of Attack on Titan, Omega Force style games, or co-op games that you like to play with friends, then you will have a blast with Attack on Titan's gameplay. Attack on Titan, Wings of Freedom does come with a multiplayer component. During Expedition mode, you can team up with up to 3 other players. Together, you can take on a whole host of missions, and while none are really story related, they are nonetheless in the spirit of what Attack on Titan is. Together, you can combat Titans, farm for materials and level up quicker than if you were going in solo. The multiplayer function pretty much operates exactly the same as single player, just with friends to play with, which at the end of the day can make any experience a lot less boring and add more life to the overall experience. The presentation of Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom is a faithful recreation of the anime, with scenes during attack mode, story mode, being almost one-to-one with the anime. The character models are colourful and look identical to their paper and TV counterparts. The Titan models too look just as unsettling as ever, as if they were pulled directly from the Uncanny Valley. Omega Force definitely have put a lot of love into making the game look a part of the franchise. Some environments are destructible by the Titans, adding more impact to these creatures, although sometimes these destructible buildings end up putting Titans in odd graphical positions. Environments are not the best looking and at some points can feel a bit sparse. The streets, for example, can feel a bit empty, which is a shame. Also, those who are familiar with the Attack on Titan series may notice that some of the gore has been toned down, especially when it comes to humans losing limbs and such. This was part of the development, as Japan often censor dismemberment within video games. Despite this though, the edited camera angles still help bring a visceral story to life. The music and sound design of Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom is fantastic. The audio is still in Japanese, but it has Western subtitles. While some may grumble or be put off by this, I still believe that Attack on Titan had better Japanese voice actors than English dub voice actors. The music is a whole host of dramatic scores that rise and fall depending on what mode you are playing. They set the scene and help bring a sense of urgency during combat. It's also great that Omega Force have brought a ton of galleries where you can check out all the cutscenes, all the music, all the different Titan models, characters and that, where you can check out at your own pace. And those who like to go for 100% in games will have a lot to collect. Overall, Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom is a fan's dream. It finally gives us a game that to date best simulates the thrill of battling titans in this dark world. The attack or story mode lets us relive major parts of the story, mainly from Season 1. This is great, however I still strongly urge for people who have not seen the anime or read the manga to do so before diving into this game. The gameplay is for me what is best about the game. While there are repetitive elements that could degrade your experience with time, I still cannot stop finding joy in swinging through the cities and forests of this game. Bringing down titans can vary, and for me was best when playing on the harder difficulties and harder levels, especially during co-op. Co-op makes farming and gathering materials a lot more entertaining. And if you have someone to play with online, then I would strongly advise giving co-op a try. The presentation has had a lot of love, and it's clear that the developers have tried their best to be as faithful to the source material as possible. I can appreciate this, and it helps make the world of Attack on Titan come to life within this game. Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom gives us a game that, while may not be perfect to some people, is a blast for any fan of Attack on Titan, making it for me worth the price of admission. Anyway, I've been Darcblade, bringing you our video review of Attack on Titan Wings of Freedom. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.